All right, good morning. It is Monday. I'm Jason DeRusha. Welcome to the CBSN Minnesota Morning Update. How you doing? Doing good? I hope so. It is cold again this morning. It's causing problems on the roads. This is 494 and Highway 5, right by the airport. And this car was spun out right in the middle of the road. They kind of maneuvered the vehicle, a little tow truck on the scene, a couple other police cars keeping the car and the driver safe there. But you can kind of see the sheen on the highway. Yeah, this is just sort of what we get when it is this cold, right? Looking throughout the Twin Cities, I will say, compared to Friday, this is so much better, right? Green all throughout the system, just a couple little spin outs, but definitely grateful for that. Let's take a look at the forecast right now. And it's because this morning it's cold and it's only going to get colder. Right now it's about 4 or 5 below. It's going to get down to maybe 8 below before it starts warming up again by noon. Balmy 3 below. Hey, we'll get above 0, but the wind chills won't. And then bitter cold again tonight. So kind of a very cold stretch until tomorrow we turn things around. And then really it looks like we're going to spend the rest of the week with high temperatures right around 30. So it should be a nice rebound. You just got to make it through today. Okay, speaking of making it through today, will this guy make it through? Mike Zimmer. The Vikings won on Sunday. Mixed feelings on that, right? Like, people paid to go to the game. I don't like it when teams throw a game to try to help their draft position. I think that's ridiculous. That said, winning the game didn't do us much good, right? But today is the day. We will see if Mike Zimmer keeps his job or is fired. He is the, I believe, third winningest Minnesota Vikings coach in history, which is kind of like being the skinny fat guy, right? I mean, the third, is that fair, Ron?
Very fair.
I mean, the winning, and we both can relate to that. Are we allowed to say that? I don't know. It's fine. I just did. What are you going to do? Take me off the internet? Go ahead. You can fire me and Zimmer in the same day. So anyway, what do you think? Should he keep his job? This was a weird year, right? Injuries, COVID. But the team certainly didn't, I guess, overperform in any way, you know? So I think that's kind of the sign of a good coach, if you can take a team and make them better. And I don't know that Mike Zimmer did that. You never cheer for someone to lose their job, but we want to know what you're thinking on this, so leave your comments in the Facebook thread, and we'll read through some of your thoughts in a moment. Boy, this kind of hit hard yesterday, learning that Bob Saget had died. And this morning, we really don't have any more answers as to what happened to Bob Saget. He's 65. He was found dead in a hotel room in Orlando. And this often you hear that of a celebrity and you're like, all right, kind of know what happened here. Well, the sheriff says there were no signs anyway of drug use or foul play, so there will be an autopsy to try to figure this out. Fans and former castmates are remembering him, of course, on Full House. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen said they are deeply saddened. So sad news, we all are. Bob Saget, dead at 65. Tragedy in New York, my goodness. This fire yesterday, just absolutely horrifying. And investigators say it was a faulty space heater. The nation's deadliest residential fire in decades. 19 people killed, including 9 children, in this 5-alarm fire in the Bronx. But I want you to see this clip. It's a firefighter. You know, they had so many firefighters on scene trying to save lives here desperately. So many people in here. Watch this clip of a firefighter rescuing a baby from an upper level.
He got a baby in his hands. The baby is wrapped up. But he got a baby. He saved the baby. Yay! Oh,
yeah. I mean, heroism for sure. You look at all the smoke. Firefighters did find victims on every floor of this building. Oh, just those plumes of smoke. So many people hospitalized, too, in critical condition. So we'll follow that today. Novak Djokovic, it looks like he will be able to defend his title at the Australian Open later this month. Will he want to? I don't know. Like, what do you do? Like, he's been kind of cooped up under this immigration house arrest in Australia. Look at the crowds as this car left Djokovic's lawyer's office in Melbourne. How did they all know? Like, hey, let's get to the lawyer's office. Huge protest, really. People very irritated at the Australian government. A judge reinstated his travel visa. You know, he could have avoided this whole thing if he just got vaccinated. Just saying. Australia's government threatened to cancel his visa a second time, deport him because of that. That is the rule for coming to Australia. Ice fishermen in Wisconsin, what a scare for them this weekend. You're on the ice, you're fishing, you're feeling good, maybe you're feeling real good, and all of a sudden you think, are we moving? Nah, it's probably one too many Miller Lights. Nope, they were moving. The ice broke off and started floating away. It's drifted out in the water. Dozens of fishermen, 34 people stranded. When that frozen bay broke, authorities used airboats like this one to rescue people safely. It took about 90 minutes to get them all off there. You get a couple guys on the airboat, off to shore, back out. By the time everybody was off this thing, it drifted about a mile. Oh, man. You're like, and as the barge or as the airboat circles, like part of it was continuing to break off. Sheriff's office is blaming a barge that was traveling through the bay, and that may have just caused enough vibration to cause that ice to break off. Wow. Boy, rough day in Green Bay, right? You lose to the Lions, and then that. Oof. Okay, if you have a milk allergy and you love beef sticks, this story is for you. Very niche newscast for you today. And then this is weird, too. These are the Iowa Smokehouse original smoke beef sticks. You can find these at a number of grocery chains in Minnesota and Wisconsin. But Iowa Smokehouse, where do they make those? Wisconsin. Abbeyland Foods. And so, you know, if you have a milk allergy, it's pretty serious business. And I don't know that you'd expect milk in a beef stick, and it's not on the label. So that's why that's being recalled. I'm fascinated by BMW's new color-changing car. The idea of having a car that you could change the look of it with a button is pretty interesting, right? This is a concept car unveiled at the CES show. So you can go white, you can go black, you can go a different shade of gray. So you can't push a button. It's kind of like a Kindle. It's that same kind of technology, that paper white, I think is what they call it on the Kindle. Now, I mean, are they ever going to sell this? No, probably no. You know, this is kind of interesting. Our producer, Mike Verlo, looked this up. Fewer than half of all cars have a color other than black, white, or gray. 57% of all cars are either black, white, or gray, according to Kelley Blue Book. So I think that is pretty interesting. My car color? What color of a car would you expect a 46-year-old morning news anchor to have? What would your guess be? Fuchsia, says Verlo. Close. You're not that far off. It's bright, like candy apple red, just screaming midlife crisis. I mean, if it were a convertible, that would be next level. The only thing that keeps me from being full on midlife crisis is that it is a Kia. So, otherwise, if I were driving around in a bright red BMW, yep, just midlife crisis. Let's go. Mike Zimmer, what should we do? Hannah, what should we do? Like we have a choice. It's already been decided, right? Like they're just going to announce it. Hannah says, I have mixed feelings. I hope he can keep his job. I wish he wasn't such a jerk in the news conferences, you know? It's like, we get it. You're a pain in the butt. Great. I guess no one cares if you're a jerk if you win. I suppose there is that. Tammy, new coaches needed. Yep. Tammy, thank you. Janine, I think it's time to move on from both Zimmer and Spielman. I think the Wilfs love Spielman. Yeah, Mike Max reporting that Rick Spielman will probably stay with the organization, maybe not as GM, maybe as president, kind of overseeing the whole thing. Suzanne, want a new crew. $30 million to buy out the contract, not a big deal for billionaires. That is for sure true. And there's Hannah again. I get it, Hannah. Enough, one time. Just kidding. Hannah's a almost daily viewer, so we're glad to have you with your feedback, Hannah. And thanks to everybody for watching us here. We'll see. We'll update you. Look, if there's a news conference where they announce what's going to happen with Zimmer, all of this stuff, we'll have it for you streaming right here on CBSN Minnesota, your only local streaming news source. Hope you kind of get through the cold one today, and we'll heat things up tomorrow.